Well, for more on the IPO market and Jumia's prospects, I'm joined by Ari Zoldan, live from New York. He's the CEO of Quantum Media Group. Welcome back, Ari.
Great to be back.
Now, Jumia, it calls itself the leading Pan-African e-commerce platform. What is it that makes Jumia special?
Well, I think that obviously they were first to the market. Granted that they're losing, or they've lost so far, $1 billion, but I think they're focused on, obviously they're focused on the holy grail, what a lot of the professionals and experts are saying right now, which is Africa. They've already dominated 14 countries. They're only going to grow, but not only are they going to be delivering consumer products, they'll be packaging loans as well. And Rochelle, once they have the consumer, once they have the customer, and they have the delivery mechanism, they'll be able to push through as many products and as many services through that pipe as possible.
Now, of course, people, when they think of Jumia, they also will compare it to Alibaba and Amazon. How do they stack up? And is it really just about competition, or is there actually room for cooperation between the three?
No, I mean, I really hope. I mean, Alibaba and Amazon obviously is going to make a very serious move into Africa. I'm hoping, and I think a lot of the tech community is hoping as well, is that there's more opportunities for collaboration. Otherwise, especially in the e-commerce space, and we've been in it for 15 years right now, and we see working with our partners that when you're competing in this space, unfortunately, it's a race to the bottom and everyone loses. And companies like Amazon and Alibaba, they don't know how Africa works. And the Africans obviously on the ground, the logistics company, the supply chain companies are really the experts in this space. And I do feel that Amazon and Alibaba should look at partnerships with Jumia.
Now, how does where Jumia is starting with its IPO compared to where Alibaba and Amazon started when they first went public?
Sure. Well, it's very challenging. I mean, the U.S. markets are not very familiar, especially Wall Street. They're not familiar with the African ecosystem. So that poses a very serious challenge, as well as the press that's coming out of, specifically of Nigeria, is a bit challenging. But Goldman Sachs did step up to the table. They committed a serious amount of money. And again, the market's going to open up probably between $13 and $16. And I think they're going to surprise a lot of people out there, and I think it's going to do really, really well.
Now, why do you think Jumia decided to list on the New York Stock Exchange versus anywhere else? What are the benefits?
Well, they wanted Sure. I mean, they wanted a global presence, and where better to do it than the United States? And it also creates opportunities for American partnerships. So I think they see the New York Stock Exchange, as a bridge to the American markets, which I think is a very, very good move.
Now, obviously, we had Lyft's IPO last month, not doing too well in today's trading, but its rival Uber, kicking off its IPO roadshow, expected to be the largest US IPO this year and among the top 10 of all time. Is Uber better positioned to live up to the hype?
I mean, I'm a big tech advocate. I use Uber, I use Lyft, but I could tell you from a valuation perspective, I think $76 billion is completely out there. And I think Wall Street is going to eventually see that in the coming years.
And a lot of people have been wondering about this trend for overvaluing. And we have a number of IPOs, including Pinterest, coming out this year. Which one should we be keeping an eye on?
I'm not a big fan of Pinterest. I think that is completely overvalued, and I think people are going to be really, really disappointed with Pinterest. What I do love, and I do appreciate Airbnb's model, I think they're going to outperform.
Now, of the tech firms expected to have IPOs this year, combined, they've raised more than $50 billion from private investors. And that's really rivaling the market cap of General Motors. So what does investor interest in tech brands, but then they're also diversifying into companies like Levi, what does that tell us about the global state of the economy?
I mean, it's only growing. We're so connected to the internet, obviously. We're wrapped in technology. The average home has 14 connected devices in their houses. That's only growing. So the brands that are looking to get into our homes are only going to grow. So look, will technology be overvalued? 100%. But the question is, how overvalued is it? And I think that's still yet to be determined.
And very quickly, Ari, with so many private investors out there willing to provide capital, why choose to go public versus staying private?
Well, again, it's if they're a foreign company having access to U.S. capital, U.S. markets, and U.S. partnerships, I think is key. And also, obviously, if you're in a billion-dollar hole like Jumia is, trying to raise that capital to be able to offset the negative losses, going public, quite frankly, is one of the only means to be able to do it.
All right, thanks so much. Ari Zoldan there, CEO of Quantum Media Group.